Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to the Daily Six. I can never get enough of God's Word, a revelation coming to me as I see things here in the story, the narrative, speaking to me about myself. Wonder if you'll join me. Can you get Genesis chapter 29 open? I'd love for you to thumb along with me. We're going to go all the way from Genesis 29 to 32 and skim through it and see some things God's showing me. Genesis 29, grab it and then come on with me. Oh, friends, there is a ton of family drama right here in the book of Genesis. Have you seen it? Abraham and Sarah, their son Isaac, his wife Rebekah, their two twin boys, Esau, Jacob, the deception Jacob had, ruining Esau's life, fleeing from his brother, wanted to kill him, understandably. And then we read yesterday the story of how in his fugitive state, his running, he was able to settle in with his uncle and his cousins and fell in love with one of his cousins, Rachel, and then his uncle deceived him and tricked him into marrying the wrong woman. And in the morning he woke up and there was Leah. He'd been deceived. The deceiver had been deceived. What an absolute train wreck. And when he confronted his uncle, you got Genesis 29 open? When he confronted his uncle, what is it you've done to me? In verse 25, I served you for Rachel. Why'd you deceive me? And Laban explains, well, it's not our custom to give you the younger daughter in marriage before the older one. So let's do this. Here's his plan to make it right. Verse 27. You finish this daughter's bridal week. In other words, you finish the honeymoon with Leah, and then we will also give you the younger one as well in return for another 7 years of work. That's messed up, right? So he does. He finishes his honeymoon with Leah. Boy, Leah can tell this. Leah's been around for 7 years watching him court Rachel, being in love, and all this arranged marriage stuff in that culture. She was her hand was forced to be in it too. And oh man, what an awful place. And so verse 28, when he finished that week, Laban also gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. I bet you're not surprised. In fact, I hope you'll take the time to read all of Genesis 29 and 30 and 31. It just goes on and on. There's all this drama between the two women now. The two sisters are now both married to the same guy, and Leah knows that he loves Rachel more than her, and that's just a mess, and they all get competitive and jealous, and they're having babies back and forth, trying to maybe if we bear Jacob kids, he'll love me better. And it goes back and forth. 12 kids get born. That'll be important next week. We start looking at these 12 kids and what comes from all this. Well, as time goes on, Genesis chapter 31, we see that Jacob and his father-in-law, his uncle Laban, now his father-in-law, the deceptive father-in-law, who's got him all messed up in these relationships. Well, even the two of them have a falling out. Jacob gets sideways with his uncle. So Jacob's getting ready to go home. The Lord had told him, in fact, back in chapter 31, verse 3, the Lord told Jacob, go home. The Lord said to Jacob, go back to the land of your fathers, to your relatives, and catch this, and I will be with you. God says, I'm going to be with you, Jacob. But you know it's at home, right? His brother Esau that he has betrayed, he essentially ruined Esau's life, stealing his inheritance, stealing his generational wealth. Friends, sometimes facing the things that we've done becomes incredibly difficult. Here's what I wonder in your story. Are there people that you have damaged in your life? I know that's a bold question, maybe one that makes you uncomfortable. I can think about my own story. There are people that my sin, my anger issues, or even times when I have unwittingly, unintentionally been manipulative of a situation, trying to get something I want, trying to control things. I haven't ruined a lot of people, but I've hurt people in my life. What about you? Are there some people that you need to square up and you need to face? Or is there a reconciliation that needs to occur? I know that's scary. Boy, it certainly was for Jacob over in chapter 22. He sent some servants on ahead to find Esau, and he's actually sent a peace offering with him, a bunch of cattle and sheep and goats and so forth to, kind of appease Esau in advance, give him a huge financial gift. In verse 6 of Genesis 32, messengers returned to Jacob, and they said, we went to your brother Esau, and now he's coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him. I was going to terrify Jacob. Verse 7, in great fear and distress. Jacob divided the people who were with him into two groups, his family, his offspring, his kids, his wives. Divides them in two sections, saying, well, he thought, verse 8, if Esau comes and attacks one group, that group that is left may escape. So then Jacob prayed, verse 9, O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, go back to your country and your relatives, and I will make you prosper. I'm unworthy of all the kindness, faithfulness you've shown me. I only had my staff when I crossed this Jordan. Now I've become two groups. So I pray, verse 11, save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me. Friends, I know it's fearful to face the things, the consequences, maybe the broken relationships, maybe the hardships that we know await us in those difficult conversations. But I wonder, could you give God 6 more minutes, and could you make this your prayer point? Ask the Lord first off to reveal, is there anybody I need to square up with, anybody I need to reconcile with? And then can you pray the prayer Jacob prayed here? God, I know I'm unworthy of all the kindness you've given me, but God, I pray that you will save me. Can you trust him? Give God 6 more minutes. Make that your prayer point. And then tomorrow we're going to see what God did. Powerful in Jacob's life. It's going to help you too. But first pray, give God 6 minutes, and then come on back tomorrow and let's see what God does with Jacob right here on the Daily 6. We'll see you then.